Microsoft Excel is getting some AI love called Copilot. It can figure out formulas, it can add new columns, it can generate charts, it can highlight cells, and it can even analyze data. Basically, it promises to revolutionize the way you work with spreadsheets. Let's dive in and see what it can do for us. Here in Excel, I have some sample data in the form of table. Now that I have Copilot, up on top, let's click on the Home tab. And all the way over on the right-hand side, you should now see a new option for Copilot. But right now, it's grayed out, and I can't actually click on it. Here, if we hover over the Copilot icon, here we'll see this tooltip appear. And it says that Copilot only works with files stored in OneDrive or SharePoint. Currently, this file is stored locally on my computer, so I need to put it into the cloud first. So over in the top left-hand corner, I'll click on the File menu and then go down to Save As. And here, I can save it in OneDrive. I'll select OneDrive and give this file a name, then over here, I'll click on Save. Now that we've saved this workbook in the cloud, up in the top right-hand corner, you'll see that I'm now able to click on the Copilot icon. So let's click on this. Once the dialog box is open over here, now we can either type our requests down over here, or we can go by their suggested categories where they have these four. So let's go over the first one of adding formula columns. We'll just click on that, and let's suppose that we want to merge the first two columns, the first and the last, simply to name and have them together. So I could type here something like merge first and last column into one add space between them, and hit enter. So here's the suggestion. And you can see it's basically made this formula for us, and we can either click over here to get it explained, or we can just insert a new column with it. We can have it previewing over on the side. You can see there that it has called it full name, and it's basically merged the max and the first happen. Without Copilot, we would have had to know how to use this formula completely on our own. Now, what about numerical formulas? So let's suppose here that we want to find the profit margin. So we can add new column for profit margin and just hit enter there. We haven't actually told it what the formula is for profit margin, which is just profit divided by revenue, but let's see if it's able to figure that out. Awesome, so it's given us this suggestion over here, and it's telling us the formula, which is the profit divided by the revenue, and that's all looking good there. We can just click on insert there, and we can find the profit margin throughout. So it works pretty well with formulas, and now let's take a look at some of the highlight options. So if we scroll back up, you see we have this highlight feature, so let's try using that one. For example, we could ask it to highlight the highest revenue, and hit enter there. You can see there that it's identified the revenue column, and within it, it's highlighted this one over here as the highest. Now that's still a simple example. What if we add some kind of an if condition there? So for example, only highlight the clients that have less than 20 customers. So we can go ahead and type highlight clients at less than 20 and hit enter. Awesome, you can see there that it's been able to detect these 3 clients. Now if I change this figure to a 10, you'll notice that it also gets detected, so it's actually fully dynamic as well. Next up, we can test how well it works for sorting and filtering. So if we scroll back up, we can just click on the sort and filter option, and from here, let's suppose that we want to sort the revenue from high to low and see what happens there. You'll notice there that it's been able to sort everything from highest to lowest. Now that's still a fairly simple example. Maybe a slightly harder one can be to only filter by those that have a profit above certain amounts. So maybe we can say filter the profit of the top 5. Awesome, you can see there that it's only filtered by the top 5, and we can now say to remove all filters, and it should do that nicely. Great. So you can see there it's quite a powerful tool, but we haven't quite tried it yet with any kind of visuals. So let's take a look at how we can do that with the Analyze button over here. So let's click on that Analyze. Let's suppose that we want to just find some insights. So what are some insights about the data set? Hit enter there. Let's see what it says. You'll notice that I have made a typo, but let's see if it's still able to interpret that. And you can see here that it's actually generated this pivot chart. If we click on Add to a new sheet, just for us to see better, you can see that this is a pivot table, as you can see by the pop-up there, and it's showing the number of clients by the star ratings. If we go back over here, we can also ask it for specific charts, like maybe it can create a column chart by revenue for each full name. Awesome. You can see there what is generated. I can click on Add to a new sheet, just for you to see that this Analyze feature is actually very similar to the analyzed data that we already had in Excel previously. While Copilot is looking very exciting, it does have some flaws, so let me show you some examples of that. Let's suppose that we want to remove Esteban Pecan over here, so we can type it Remove Esteban Pecan row, and just hit Enter there. You'll notice that it actually isn't able to do it. Let's see what it says. Like I anticipated, it says here, I'm sorry, but I couldn't perform the actions you requested, and instead it just tells you the steps to go ahead and do them yourself. Another notable flaw is that it doesn't quite work if you have two tables, and you want to ask it to merge them. Things like that don't quite work. Same thing goes with data that's outside of a table. I have this cell here selected for now, and it's saying, hey, I only work with an Excel table. So we're actually unable to type anything down below, unless we're inside of the table format. So all in all, it's great to see AI finally coming into Excel, especially for newer users who may not be familiar with all the available functionality. Keep in mind, Excel has been around for almost 40 years. How do you separate a first name from a last name, or how do you apply conditional formatting? That's not always obvious, and AI can really help there. So it's a quite useful AI tool. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more Excel tips and tutorials. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content. Thanks for watching, and happy excelling!